have with them. However, it can be a painful time for the large number of men who are childless but don't want to be.
A quarter of men over 42 don't have children, according to one study. That's more than women in the same age group. One researcher says much more needs to be done to assess the effects of male childlessness. Kevin Ashford reports.
It's a time of celebration for fathers and their children. But for men who aren't parents, even though they wanted youngsters, Father's Day can be a painful reminder of the relationships missing from their lives. Author and journalist Robert Nurdin is childless. He'd always assumed he would be a parent, but it never happened. Robert's written a book about his experience and that of other men in the same situation. But he says this time of year can be difficult for many.
Societal events I don't take particularly much notice of, but I have been known on Father's Day to stay in and hunker down with a good book rather than go out and see supposedly happy families. They may not be all be happy, but some people, and Mother's Day for women, it's an incredibly hard time.
This Birmingham therapist says feelings about childlessness need to be discussed.
There is an emotional concern that happens, and for men it can be in particular quite difficult to talk about. So then it is about trying to, as a family member or a friend, first of all trying to recognise that okay, this is something that's distressing them.
One recent study found that 25% of men over the age of 42 do not have children. That's 5% more than women of the same age group. And around 40% of the men who aren't fathers but wanted to be have experienced depression, and 25% have felt a deep anger. Their emotions familiar to the report's author, who's also childless.
I had a colleague who became a father, and I was so jealous of him. So jealous. I couldn't face him, and we used to have teas and coffees and lunches together, and I'd walk round the other way around the building so I didn't have to pass his office because I was so jealous. And a lot of men say this, I'm so jealous. There's nothing for me to express. Nobody's ever said this about men before, and that's why I became interested in it, and that's when I found out there's really nothing around men and their emotional experience.
Campaigners say childlessness can have a big impact on men's mental health. It also